Okay, so I want to come on and share a little bit about what I've learned about probate. I really didn't know that probate existed. Nobody really talks about this stuff. I kind of thought when a person dies, I mean, this is like the TV thing. You know, there's somebody, I thought it was a lawyer, comes around, all the families around, and they tell everybody how the decedent's items, their assets are going to be distributed. Okay, so for one, that's only if the person has a will. And second of all, I guess, like, I don't even know if that still happens in real life, but I guess it would only happen if the decedent already had a lawyer or an executor or an administrator appointed, and that person already filed the will with the courts and had those duties done already, and then distributing the assets is the last thing to do. Okay, so no, this is going to tell you where my husband's family's mindset was. So probate is the process where a decedent's debts are settled and assets are distributed. Okay, now no, my husband was buried in December. January they showed up at my house, and then I found out in March that an heir to the estate filed to open probate. Now this is important because I also found out, just sitting in court and doing research, any heir can petition to open probate. Now with a person who died intestate, which was my husband because he died without a will, everything that goes through inheritance, there's a line. There's the spouse, and then there's spouse and children. Now, if there was no spouse, it just goes to the children. If there was no children, it just goes to the spouse. But if there was both, the spouses first and then the children. Now, if there were no spouse and no children, then I think it goes to grandparents, or not grandparents, their parents. And then if the parents are deceased, then it goes to siblings. And now it just keeps going down as far as the inheritance. But if there is nobody, then all your stuff goes to the states. So this is what my whole thing about the importance of getting your stuff together. I know it's stuff that might be difficult to talk about, but have a will so people know where things are going to go. Now I'm going to read from this because, okay, so what I found out about probate is that no matter who petitions to open it, it's going to be opened. I thought that if I didn't want probate to be open because I was the spouse, that it wouldn't be open. If an heir petitions to open probate, then it's going to be opened. And I don't want to say most likely, but from my experience, supervised administration of probate was opened. Now, who becomes the administrator, that's up to the court. Now, because I'm the spouse and there was no reason for me not to be the administrator, I became the administrator, not the person who petitioned to open probate. You really want to avoid probate. I'm like, people come in wanting stuff that isn't rightfully there, and they open probate not really understanding how probate works. In probate, debts are settled first and then assets are distributed. But now on top of this, attorney's fees have to be paid. As far as I understand, and like I said, I am not an attorney, if supervised probate is opened, you have to have an attorney, because an attorney is the one who knows all the paperwork to file for probate. And sitting in court, I have seen people come in and they don't have attorneys, and the judge is always like, well, you need an attorney because you can't do that, or you can't file that way, and this is what needs to be done. All the attorneys know that. No matter how much research that I didn't realize when probate was first petitioned to be open that I could file cross petitions for me to be the administrator. Because again, like I said, I never wanted probate to be open, didn't know I had to open probate. And I will say a little bit about, which is crazy, the person that the heir hired to be the attorney for probate for them was the same attorney that did my late husband's cousin's divorce. Get that? This is how you can see how messy my husband's family is, and how some of the heirs that are involved are part of the messiness, which I think is ridiculous, because I have never had any issues with any of the heirs of my husband's estate at all. At least the rightful heirs, because like I said, it's spouse and children first. So, in order to like not have to go through probate, and again, I'm not an attorney, not a probate lawyer, but there are things like trust, joint ownership with rights of survivorship, beneficiary designations, and I know there's like a revocable trust and irrevocable trust that can be opened in order to avoid like the costly fees that happen in probate, because this stuff has been a complete mess. My husband was killed in 2023. It is now 2026. Probate for my case, my husband's estate, is still open. There's also a small estate affidavit that you can file if the decedent's estate didn't meet like certain requirements for probate to be open, which I thought was going to be for my late husband because, well, he didn't meet the requirements for probate to be open. The estate did not. But again, because an heir petitioned to open probate, probate was open under supervised administration, and I was appointed administrator. They were trying to be appointed administrator. And again, okay, I'm going to make this short because I'm going to tell that story later and when the probate process is more so over, because there has been a lot going on with that. But to end this video, I do want to tell you guys, if you have to hire an attorney for probate, first of all, make sure you read the contract very clearly, ask questions, get a person that can trust and can help you get a person that you can trust and that can help you go through the process of probate. And also make sure that person that you have is looking over the billing that the attorney is doing. But yeah, I think I'm going to end on that, and I'm going to come back at a later date and I'm going to talk to you more about my experience that I had or am having. Hopefully it's going to be had, because I'm hoping that probate is going to get closed. Yeah. I want to throw this in. I just want to throw this in there. So the attorney that was hired by one of the heirs, they tried to say that I kicked the person that was living in my household out, which was a complete lie. So not only did this attorney get caught up in this drama that was going on within the family, they did nothing to verify any of those facts. And they also, again, like I said, they were an attorney that was hired by my late husband's cousins to do their divorce. So they hopped right into this family drama and spewed out a bunch of lies about what was going on. But that's for another video and another story to tell. And again, it's never too late to speak up and speak out. My husband's homicide is still unsolved. And again, if you know anything, have seen anything, heard anything, please speak up. Please say something. This is our community, and we're the only ones who are going to be able to stop the violence that is going on in our communities. Nobody else is going to be able to. That's our community. We need to have each other's back. We need to do what we know we need to do in order to get our communities back right. All right.